Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Mercedes and this is the Frugal Life with Mercedes. Today I'm going to talk about something that I'm very excited about. I saw that a new documentary is going to be coming onto Netflix called Buy Now, The Shopping Conspiracy. It premieres on Netflix November 20th. You guys know I am not sponsored by Netflix. I don't know those people. I don't know the people that made the documentary. This is just my personal opinion. I am super excited. I mean, if Netflix wants to send me a check, I would not turn it down, but not sponsored. This is not an ad. The reason I am excited is I am constantly talking to people on YouTube, in my personal life, strangers on the street, about the overconsumption. Now, I know I am a big Dollar Tree person, and I get that that is not environmentally friendly, and that is overconsumption. And my coupon closet, yes. So I get it. I'm part of the problem too, guys. I totally get it. But I am definitely not like the vast majority of people. Okay? And when I say that, I don't have packages come into my house all the time. You can ask my partner. I had a pair of sandals show up to the house the other day, and he's like, there's a package here. He was home and I was at work, and he's like, there's a package here. It's got your name on it. That's how often I buy things. Like, never. You know what I mean? Like, never. And I'm very conscious about what I buy, where I buy it, and the reasoning behind buying it. I primarily buy used when I'm talking about clothes, household items, or just secondhand in general. I would say probably 90% of the things in my kitchen alone were given to me or I bought secondhand. Very few things in my kitchen specifically did I go out and buy full price. So what I like to do is I try to get it for free, like from a friend, family member, or I buy secondhand, buy clearance, buy brand new, no price cut. Very rare that happens. I usually will joke, I'll be like, I paid full price for that. We gotta be careful with it. Not that it has more value, but it's just like, I paid full price for that. My air fryer. I love air fryers, and I remember when Brandon and I were moving in together, his aunt was like, oh, well, what's some things that you guys, need? Or she was kind of asking like more like wish list stuff. And I told her, I said, I would love to have an air fryer. I said, but it's just not in the budget. And my partner was not comfortable getting an air fryer secondhand, which I totally get because, they get funky. You know what I mean? I totally get it. Unless it's only been used a couple of times, I totally get that. And it turned out Aunt Janny had an air fryer sitting in the basement. She had used it one time. And she was like, well, I have an air fryer in the basement. And I was like, I didn't even see it. I was just like, we will take it. So my partner's aunt and grandpa had a camper, and they bought an air fryer for the camper. Now, they didn't have an air fryer in their home, but they bought an air fryer for the camper just because, if you're camping and you got a nice camper, might as well, makes it easier. They used it one time, the air fryer one time, and never used it again. So it had been sitting in their basement. So I got an air fryer, and it's a real nice one for free. I also am a firm believer that the universe provides. Your creator, the universe, however you want to put it, if you want to put it in, I was raised that God provides, and I am a firm believer in that. But I also believe in respecting other people's religious views. And like I said, I don't want to make this religious, but I'm just saying I believe that my creator and the universe provide. So I will put stuff into the universe. I will pray on things. And most of the time it ends up coming to me. I also believe in just positivity. Like, I try to put as much positive spirit and positive energy out into the universe and out into the world and out to individuals as possible. And I have been blessed 1,000-fold for doing that. I cannot even tell you the generosity of people that have given me stuff because they knew that I would want it or need it or whatever it is, and I would appreciate it. There are some people that would kind of get insulted for being offered certain things secondhand, and I never have been. If I can't use it, don't need it, I'm very honest. You know what? Thank you so much, but I really don't need that. But if you want, I can look for a home for it or, whatever. And most of the time, people are just happy for me to take it, but it's my honesty about it. Do you know what I mean? And, the overconsumption, guys, I made that video, it's ruining your budget. And, I believe this documentary, to get back to the beginning of the video, I believe this documentary is going to focus on the environmental impact. It's also going to focus on how these companies manipulate you and play mind games with you, and also FOMO, like, the fear of missing out. You just see this constantly on social media and just amongst people. I don't have a lot of girlfriends. I just don't. So I can't really relate to this. But I have friends who have literally gone on vacations they did not want to go on because a friend asked them to, and they, didn't want to look lame, or they didn't want to look like, whatever. And I've been asked to go to lots of places, and if I don't want to go, or if it's not in the budget, I'm just like, no thanks. You can't care what people think. Like, I mean, if somebody I know rolls in and says, hey, you want to go to Europe and I'll pay for everything, heck yeah, all right. But if it's not in my budget, or if it's not something I'm interested in doing, there's no reason to agree to it. So you really have to stand your ground about your wants, needs, beliefs, and you also have to decide what is important to you. What is more important? All this crap that we are being convinced on a daily basis, multiple times a day. I don't even know how many multiple times a day that we need, or retiring early. Having enough in savings where you could work less. Having a house that is a manageable size with a manageable amount of things in it, so you spend less time cleaning and organizing and more time with your children, with your significant other, reading a book, sitting down, taking a nap, whatever it is. You guys have to remember that it all is layered. It's all layered, all one on top of another on top of another. And I said in another video that this is the kind of content I'm going to be putting out for the next couple of months. I am going to, I still have to go grocery shopping, so you guys are still going to see grocery hauls and different things like that. But I am going to really, really hit home about overconsumption and making sure that your priorities are straight. And your priorities don't need to be mine. Please, don't go by my priorities and my personal beliefs. But do you even know what your priorities are? Do you know what you really like and what you really don't like? Or is it just such and such celebrity or such influencer, or my girlfriend or neighbor, sister's cousin has whatever and I have to get it as well? Okay, guys? So if you don't get anything else out of this video, learn your preferences and learn your personal beliefs. And do you even trust these companies or these people that are trying to sell to you? And if the answer is no, then you might want to second guess where you buy from, or who you listen to, or who you aspire to be. I don't aspire to be anybody but Mercedes. There is a Mercedes that I see in the near future who is exactly who I want to be. And I'm perfectly happy with who I am today, but I don't aspire to be any celebrity, any person I know personally. I aspire to be the best Mercedes that I can possibly be, and that is it. And I want the same for you guys. And that's going to look different for everybody, okay? But I'm really excited about the documentary, though, because this is stuff that I have been talking about for I don't even know how many years. I was thinking about it, and I want to say that I've been talking about overconsumption for probably 20 years. I am 34, so 14, 15 years old. I got really into the environment. You can ask my parents. And that environmentalist is still inside here. I've lost my environmental way a little bit, but she's still there. And when I was in high school, I primarily wore secondhand clothes, and that was not cool back then. Like, not at all. Like, now I think people think it's hip or chic or whatever, and that's fine, whatever. But when I was in high school, that made you a social outcast. And I was. But I made those secondhand clothes look good. And I actually won Most Unique Girl in my senior class. And there was a whole little excerpt about how I only wore secondhand clothes, and secondhand clothes were so much better for the environment, and they helped you express yourself individually. And I loved the fact that other people wouldn't have what I had, a whole big thing. And people still thought I was weird, but it's like, there you go. And a little known fact, I don't know if I've mentioned this or if I've mentioned it, but it was a long time ago. When I was in college, my major was sustainability, and sustainability is the management of resources. So all my professors were super crunchy granola, drinking their coffee out of mason jars they'd had for 40 years, just so cool and so hip, and just I was just I love this. And so all the classes were environmentally geared. So even my English class was I had to write a huge paper on electronic waste. I'm sure I probably still have it someplace. And I was really proud of that, and how electronic waste was desecrating the environment and all this stuff. And it's just, and I still get so I don't get excited about the desecration, but just the content matter of just all these like-minded people. I had never in my life been in a room with so many like-minded people, and that was so impactful for me. And I wish that for everybody. And it doesn't have to be the environment, but it can be other things too. And I'm getting a little choked up about it, I guess. But so yeah, I was collect myself. I wasn't expecting that. I was a sustainability major with a minor in business management. So the original intent was, I did the business management because I feel like I always had this this natural instinct for businesses and business plans, and I really wanted to have some sort of environmental business. My end goal was to go to large companies and teach them how they can still be a profitable business but be environmentally friendly, and not do greenwashing, which is where a company looks environmental, pretends to be environmental, acts environmental, but really they're not. And so I really wanted to stop greenwashing of these large corporations. And I think that's why I'm so excited about this documentary, is because I'm just okay, basically stuff I've been saying for 20 years is going to be on Netflix. And I feel once things are on Netflix, it draws so much attention to the issue that it gets people talking, it gets people changing, it gets people, having a reaction, good or bad. I want people to have a reaction to what these companies are doing and why overconsumption is bad. And I know that I focus primarily on finances, but overconsumption is just bad in general, and it's something that we all need to work on and work towards. Okay, so that is my TED Talk, apparently. Like I said, I was not expecting to kind of get choked up talking about, but those professors were very dear to me. They were. Especially like when you grow up in a really small town and you're the odd one. Do you know what I mean? Like, I carried canvas bags that were made out of recycled hemp and things like that, and people didn't do that, at least not where I lived. And I only wore secondhand clothes, and I spoke my mind, and I was just very loud and vibrant, and that wasn't easy. And then when you go to college and there are people that are more loud and more vibrant and more boisterous and more extreme than you, and then you're just like, okay, I'm heading in the right direction. Like, I'm not, anyway. So again, thank you for coming to my TED Talk today. And really, guys, no matter what your thoughts are on overconsumption, budgets, the environment, anything like that, check out the documentary if you have Netflix. If you don't, go over to your friend's house that has Netflix. Don't be paying those people any money. If it's not in the budget, or if you don't already have Netflix, don't do that. But yes, until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you if you lasted till the end. I really appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for coming. Until next time, guys, bye.